like to look good. I like to look put together. I don't love spending thousands of dollars. I calculated how much I had been spending on nails, lashes, hair color, and extensions, and it was a staggering over $10,000 a year. And now I do everything myself. And I decided to put my updated routine in one video. So we're going to start with nails, lashes, and then hair. So whatever you are interested in, I'm going to have it all in one video that's easy to refer back to. And I will try to do one of these every year because one thing about me, I try all the new things. I am the guinea pig. And then I come on and I share what I like the best, what I swear by. And we are just going to jump into it because this is a long video. We're going to start with nails because this is the one, if there's anything from this video that you try, you guys, the nails. So if you've tried press-ons and you hated them, they popped off, they looked fake, the technology has improved dramatically. And the biggest thing I have to say is it needs to be this brand. I have tried every type of press-on. BT Art Box X Coat Tips. They also have BT Art Box press-on nails. No, you don't want those. X Coat Tips. They have different sizes, styles. I'll put some of my favorite, but the main important thing is that it's the X Coat Tips. And that is because these nails are thin enough that when they are on, they look like a natural nail. They don't look like a chiclet on your nail. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is just have clean, dry nails, and you can do your cuticle pushing and trimming if you would like. Sometimes I do trim, but you really want to push those cuticles down because when you place the press-ons, you want them as close to the nail bed, and then you want to make sure your nails are completely dry. I will use either an alcohol wipe or nail polish remover just to remove any oils that are on the nails. And then this is a somewhat controversial step, but if you want them to last, you do want to file your natural nails. And just a quick file, okay? Maybe 4 or 5 passes in the same direction. It's giving your nail a little bit of texture so that the press-on will stick to it best. So select your nails. This is Goldilocks situation. You don't want them too big. You don't want them too small. You should be able to find a perfect size, whether you have teeny tiny baby fingers like me, all the way up to larger fingers because there's such a variety in the sizes. Have them lined up. And then this is key. This nail glue, this is another one of those things. I have tried the brush on nail glue. I've tried all the different nail glues. This one, and it is also extremely cheap. This whole pack you can get for $5 or so. And then you want to do a drop of glue on the inside of the press-on nail. Then you want to do 2 drops on your natural nail. Take the press-on nail and push it down and far back onto the cuticle. You really want it pressed into the nail bed and hold it down. For each nail, I put as much pressure as possible and I hold it down for 30 to 60 seconds. This is the most time consuming part of the process, is just holding each nail down. You really want to get that double bond and press it in to lock it in. And right away, it should feel firm and strong. If it feels loose right after you do it, something has gone wrong. Next thing you want to do once you get all the nails on and they're nice and secure, get your little nail clippers and clip off that little tab at the end, and you can do a quick file just to make sure they're nice and smooth. This next step is the step that sets these apart from any other press-on nails and makes them look, in my opinion, superior to any other press-on nails. And that is the gel coat. That's why this is called X Coat Tips. It is a 2-in-1 gel system. So it's a hybrid of a press-on and gel nails. So what you do is you do a thin coat of this gel on top, and then you do have to get the UV lamp. So put sunscreen on the back of your hands. We don't want UV damage. And then cure. I do a double cure. So 60 seconds twice just to make sure they are nice and set. And you have the most beautiful at-home manicure. I'm going to show you a few different styles because, like I said, you can pick whatever style you want. These are the ombre short. They have extra short. For a while, I was wearing the extra short. You can even get the plain and do your own nail polish on top and then just do the gel on top of that. These are the best. The price, the quality, how they look up close. I'm I'm obsessed. And I did wait on doing this video because these were sold out in the ombre, the ones that are my most favorite that I'm showing you here. They were sold out and I'm like, I can't do this video and then not have the nails available. So hopefully there are still some in stock. And to remove them, I use a baby nail clipper. I clip off the tops and then I take the baby nail clipper and I clip them off my nails. Definitely try these. If you have not tried them, you will love them. I feel very confident recommending these. Now, next, let's talk lashes. And this is somewhat of a controversial thing. There is kind of a backlash, pun intended. Some people don't like the lashes, but what I'm here to tell you, you can make them as natural or as dramatic as you want. These have also come a very long way. Now they have them insanely affordable and they're getting better. And I have a lot to say because I've tried so many. You want to start with your clean, natural lashes. This is how I remove them. This particular remover. First, I put it on cotton pads and I just soak the lashes off. Then I put some on a spoolie brush and I gently brush out. And then this is almost embarrassingly easy because now they make the lash glue. It comes with the kit. I would say less is more. You need less glue than you think. You do not want too much glue because then your lashes stick together. It looks clumpy. It's sticky. Like you don't want that. So less than you think you need. I almost always do 14, 12, 12, 10. And that is the map that works for my eyes. I have slightly hooded eyes, but what you want to do, this is very important. First, take your tool and you want to pull up the lash from the band. Don't pull the lashes from the end because they will fray. They will come apart. Pull them first from the band, then grab your applicator tool and grab them on the very end of the lash. I start with the outer edge and you are applying these under your lashes. If you've never tried it, I would never do any other way at this point. So let the glue get tacky for about 30 seconds. I start at the end, the outer corner of my eyes, and I put on the 14 right on the end. Hold it there for a second. Release the applicator. You want to go close to the natural lash line, but not on your water line. Okay, so as close as possible to the natural lash line. Continue doing this. You can see me doing it here. This takes me under a minute. You're just boom, boom, boom. I'm a pro at this point. After this, I take the applicator. On the other side of the glue it's called the seal. That is what helps lock in the lashes and get rid of any stickiness. So what I do is I take the applicator and I rub it on the seal. And with that, on both sides of the applicator, I use that and then I press the lashes together very gently. And the rule with your at-home lashes is don't mess with them. Try to not touch them, but don't mess with them too much. Just let them live their beautiful butterfly, fluttery life. And for washing your face, a lot of people ask me about that. I just use my face scrubbing brush when I scrub around. And then for my eye area, I will use a Q-tip and eye makeup remover and go just around the eyes. I don't directly splash water on my eyes. Very, very important how you sleep. If you're sleeping with your face pressed into the pillow, that is when they're going to come off. I sleep with a special pillow, the beauty pillow. Right here, if you're an OG, you know I've been sleeping with this for 15 years. My mom invented it. So this, my ear is on the pillow, my face is hanging off. So my lashes are not being crushed. And then how long do I wear these for? Usually 5 to 7 days. So now we have covered the nails and the lashes. Now let's talk hair, ladies, because I am a hair girl. Now, with the extensions, it was costing me an arm and a freaking leg to have them. I had the hand-tied extensions. I did a video fairly recently on my hair extension at home method. They are micro-link hair extensions. They are using the beads, which are a lot less damaging on the hair. So I still do the micro-link hair extensions. I will have the full video tutorial, all the information down in the description box. What I like about these is that they are little individual links, so they're not putting a lot of pressure and tension on your hair. I notice very minimal damage. The one and only downside is it is pretty time consuming to install them. Now, what I do and what I recommend to anyone who does hair extensions, you can't consistently use them all the time and expect your hair to be good. So I will do 3 months on and 2 to 3 months off if I can. And what I do in the meantime and what I have right now is I do clip-ins. I'm now really loving the clip-ins because I have this dialed in. Okay. It's always a process. When the clip-ins first came out, they were bulky, they were heavy, they hurt my head. I couldn't not think about having them on my head. These new ones that I have, they are so lightweight and they are almost invisible. The color match is good and the price. And they last for a year at least. A couple things that I've learned with the clip-ins. First thing, any hair extensions, especially clip-ins. This thing right here, this is the holder, the clip-in hair holder. So you can style them, you can wash them, you can store them, and they have a nice little place. The biggest key to clip-ins and making them more comfortable is your teasing comb. Take your little section, but you just section off. And if you use your teasing comb on the hair you're about to clip it into, it gives it something more to grip to. If you have thin or fine hair, you can also tease the hair right above it. So you have more of a blend, just that the clip-ins have the invisible edge and they're much more lightweight and the clips are better. It does not bother my head. And I actually, when I come in from being out, I just take them off. I hang them on their little coat rack and it's good to go. And it's the most minimal damage. And now in the meantime, what I'm also doing is really focusing on my natural hair health, because the more you wear hair extensions, especially permanent ones, the more thin and damaged your hair becomes over time. And then you become more addicted to them. So I'm trying to kind of break the cycle and stay on the clip-ins for as long as I can. I do these every night and they last. Okay. The Kerastase, it is a night serum for the ends of your hair, and then the night fortifying serum oil for the scalp. So then the last thing that I want to touch on, I would not say that I recommend because a lot can go wrong. I do my own highlights. If you want a tutorial on that, I would be nervous to do it because the hairdressers are going to come for me. But again, if it is something you really want to see, you can thumbs up this video, let me know in the comments. And also I will put in the list, because I'm going to have everything that I use in one list. I'll also put my self tanner, because that's another hack that I discovered recently. We're trying to save money, look our best, be fabulous, and live our best life. Thank you for hanging in here with me for a longer video. I hope you found this informative. And this is what I actually do after a lot of trial and error. And I'm happy to say that I'm saving over $10,000 a year. Thank you so much for being here, for watching, and I will see you soon with a new video.